Okay, so we'll get started. It's First Friday, and it's November. It's not exactly the November weather I was anticipating for this event, but here we are, sitting inside, about to have a very compelling conversation, because that's what we're doing this year, is having our First Friday Innovation Conversations, hosted by the Center for a Sustainable Future here at IU South Bend. So in usual years, we've had a series of 8 to 12 weeks of speakers talking about what they're doing in our region to advance sustainability through innovative approaches and really systems thinking. So last year we thought, well, we'll do something different. Instead of spreading it out and having you pick which week or weeks you come to over those 8 to 10 weeks, we were going to do it all in one night. We'll bring everybody together in April. So of course that didn't happen, but we still were really excited to share these speakers with you because they're doing such cool stuff. So instead we're going to be featuring each of them the first Friday of every month. We had our first one last month, and that was Shabir Kitbutn. He's from Ivy Tech, their IT sector partnership, talking about technology and building community workforce development. So it's a very interesting take on sustainability and developing our communities. And we've got several others coming up throughout the year into May. And we've challenged all of the speakers when we first were looking to see who would come in and talk, to make some connections across systems too. So we've themed this as seeing systems, finding connections, what sustainability relates to, which as it turns out is a lot. Had them apply to speak. So you're going to hear basically a little mini TED Talk. So we had them apply to speak. I gave it to a group of students and some faculty to review anonymously their submissions. And the ones you'll be hearing from are the ones that they rated as the most compelling and important messages to hear. So that is what is coming up today and first Friday of every month. With that said, I don't want to talk too much because I'm not the one you came here to see. My name is Krista Bailey. I'm the director of the Center for a Sustainable Future. I'm really pleased to have gotten the feedback that we did from folks in our area about what they're doing and that they wanted to share it with others. So that said, today's talk, sustainability, education, peace, and community building with solar. And today I've got with me Tyler Kanczewski. He's the Vice President of Sustainability and Marketing at Innovative Solar, which is our local solar installation company and one of the fastest growing ones. Very excited to have you with you here today, Tyler. So say hi, and I know you've got a great presentation to share with us.
Thanks, Krista. Honored to be here. And hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and pull up. I have some slides. So I'm going to share my screen here and then take it away. So thanks again. Really exciting stuff going on in the area. And Innovatus is happy to be a part of that. And our goal is to help with some of the thought leadership behind solar, sustainability, education, what peace is, and community building. So as Krista said, I'm Tyler Kanczewski, Vice President of Sustainability at Innovative Solar. It should be working here. There we go. So you probably see a lot of solar driving down the highways now or driving around town. You might notice more and more solar panels and see the growth, and it's really cool to see. We're right in the middle of a solar revolution, and I want to provide some things for you today to see how you can live more in balance with nature and how solar actually produces less greenhouse gas and can be good for the community. So right now, solar is about 1.7% of our total electrical production in the country. And solar is a good portion of our overall renewable energy portfolio, which also includes wind power, hydro, and bios. So about the year 2000, renewables really started to take off. And about the same time, coal production really started to decrease. Now we're still seeing a good demand in natural gas and oils, but we expect that to change as well. So you might ask, why is solar taking off? Well, I wanted to show a couple of charts here. The chart on the left shows the greenhouse gas emissions solar compared to coal and natural gas. So it's substantially less, as you can see from the chart here. Chart on the right shows the crazy drop in price of solar installation. We price solar in dollars per watt. You can reach out to me more after the presentation. I can tell you how that works. But it went from $101 a watt all the way to 61 cents a watt. And at the same time, the amount of systems installed have boomed since 2005 to 2015. So solar is less greenhouse gas emissions. It's cost effective. And now we're finding it's really producing a lot of opportunities for jobs. And also a very new thing, wildlife habitat, which is pretty wild. And we're excited to be a part of that. So the forecast for solar from 2020 to 2025 is expected to really grow. This decade, we're going to see some massive growth in solar. And that's in the residential, commercial, and utility market. We're seeing a lot of companies talk about carbon neutrality. We're seeing a lot of utilities talk about their plans to decommission coal plants and put in more solar. So we're right in the middle of this revolution. The thing is we have to do it sustainably. Things are really growing fast, and there's no doubt solar is more sustainable than coal or other fossil fuels used for electrical generation. But here at Innovatus, we're realizing you still have to go above and beyond to make sure you're implementing it correctly, and you're having the most minimal impact on the land, and you're still producing habitats for wildlife. So we've put together a plan that we call the modern day sustainable solar development, which is very exciting. The first one is optimal system design. So whether you're installing solar on the roof, on a rooftop, or on ground, you need to make sure you're using the least amount of space possible to produce the most amount of power. So our goal is to maximize power per square foot, utilize equipment that is state-of-the-art and is built around producing more power. You see this picture in the background. It's an IKEA distribution center. It's a massive building. They're storing equipment there and then shipping it out. Before there was solar, it was just a roof, to make sure their inventory doesn't get wet, and things are contained. But now it's a dual use, a dual purpose roof packed with solar. And I believe this location is putting a lot of power back on the grid and selling their power. If for some reason they couldn't put solar on this roof, you notice there's some field just north of the building. They could have put solar there as well. But if they were to do that, the whole goal would be have less impact on the land and produce as much power as possible. So our engineering team is working hard to design the best systems and customize for every customer, for every project. A very exciting thing that's happening with solar, ground mounts in particular, are pollinator-friendly sites. This is a very new thing for solar, so a lot of us are learning a lot about botany. We're learning. We're almost thinking about bringing in an in-house, having somebody be our in-house botanist, because this stuff is tricky, and learning about all the different plants that are natural, that are native to areas of the country. Our goal here is, with any ground mount that we are a part of now, that we try to implement pollinator-friendly sites. So basically, the idea is pollinating plants with the solar array, and they're great for bees, butterflies, and other pollinating insects. And it's just a great wildlife habitat. A very cool thing we're also learning is that the roots of these pollinating plants grow much deeper than typical turf grass, so you can actually store more carbon. So you're not only reducing carbon emissions from solar power, but now you can plant wildlife habitat, pollinating plants that sequester carbon. So a very cool thing. Some sites are even bringing in sheep for sheep grazing, and great way to reduce your maintenance costs and having to mow. Let the sheep hang out and mow the grass for you. So we're excited to be a part of this pollinator habitat, and like I said, our goal is to do as much of this as possible. So you're not only farming the sun, but you're also producing this really cool wildlife habitat. Number 3 is end of life and decommissioning. Most solar panels warranties last about 25 years. So the big question right now in the industry is, what are we going to do with all these panels at the 25-year mark? The good thing is there's solar panels. I believe in Japan, it's the manufacturer Kyocera. They have solar panels that are about 35 to 40 years old now, and they're producing 75% of the original production, what they were built to produce. So people and companies are going to have the opportunity at the year 25 to keep the solar equipment running as long as possible until they really see a decrease in electrical generation, or they can swap out the equipment. And Innovatus is going to help our customers do this. There's many electrical recyclers that are getting into solar equipment recycling. Solar panels make up a vast amount of that, and they're 95% recyclable. They have silicon, aluminum, and wiring, and 95% of it's recyclable. So what we're seeing is potential $10 billion of recoverable value by the year 2050. And that's 2 billion panels. Now that's not all what Innovatus is going to be able to handle. That's more of an industry-wide number, but it just shows that even at 25 years, if you want to swap out this equipment, don't send anything to a landfill. There's going to be companies that are going to help you recycle the equipment, and some of it's going to go right back into solar panel manufacturing. Which brings me to initiative number 4 for sustainable solar development: job site waste reduction and zero waste practices. So when we ship equipment to a job site, it has to come in packaging, a lot of cardboard, a lot of pallets, shrink wrap, banding. So you're going to deal with different type of waste, different material streams. Our goal is to sort and separate these waste streams in order to recycle and repurpose as much as we possibly can to achieve close to zero waste construction sites. And also we're looking at low carbon shipping, because sometimes we're having to ship materials a long way to get to a site, or from the manufacturer, that is international over to the US. Sometimes equipment's internationally made, and then to the site. So we're looking into low carbon shipping options as well. But the whole idea is to create more of a circular system, as we're seeing with a lot of manufacturing across the nation right now. The old model was to take a resource, make something, use it, and then dispose and pollute. Where a new model, and it's really more of lean thinking, is use, reuse, remake, recycle. You keep the cycle going. So you create more of a zero waste system, or as close to zero waste as possible. So here at Innovatus, we're trying to do this with our construction sites. And it's actually something I'm very engaged with, calling a lot of companies here in the Midwest to figure out, hey, how can we better recycle this material, and which locations will take this material. Big initiative, last one here, number 5 is community engagement, education, and bringing peace and prosperity. So we're finding that we come to these communities and install solar, and a lot of people are learning about it for the first time. And it's really exciting because you're learning that, hey, we can produce electricity without the greenhouse gas emissions of our old electrical generation did. We still have a society based on needing electricity, and we can still promote that, but we can also promote conservation, maybe not using as much electricity, finding ways to be more energy efficient, looking at installing solar or renewable energy on your building or on your property, and just really creating a community based in having less impact on the environment, which brings what I think is peace and prosperity to any community. And with Innovatus, that is really our mission, of peace, whether it's internal with my colleagues, or it's external with our customers and our partners. Our mission is to build a brilliant tomorrow and do the best we can every day. And we might find there's other renewable energies that come about down the road. We don't believe solar is the the last option. It's about continuing to innovate and improve as much as possible, and try to shoot for the most sustainable thing possible, as you're learning about, hey, what is the best thing to do for our community and for the planet. So there's some great ways that you can get involved here in South Bend and in our region. First and foremost, you can get involved with IUSB and Krista Bailey and the Center for a Sustainable Future. They always have many great events going on, like the one that I'm here with today. You can join Innovatus for think tanks. You can reach out to me, which my email will be on the next slide. We try to do them every couple weeks to once a month. We invite people from the region or across the country to brainstorm on a topic with us. There's also South Bend Green Drinks. They meet once a month. Many great leaders in sustainability attend those. There's the Michigan Great Southwest Sustainable Business Forum, which you can join and be a part of. And also the South Shore Clean Cities has the Sustainable Solutions Conference and Expo happening October 26th next year. And I believe they have other events going on as well. So some great ways you can get involved with the sustainability community. And that brings me to the last slide. Just again, thank you so much for having me talk on solar and sustainability today, Krista.